Vietnamese goods coming in, Chinese going out. This is the waterfront at Dongxing, where trade flows across the Beilun River from dawn to dusk. Stevedores here have a fundamental grasp of economics, for when there's a slowdown like now, the loads on their backs are lighter.
Due to the weakness of the Vietnam currency, the RMB appreciation, the dollar's weakness, Dongxing's exports have dropped.
He won't get much sympathy, however, from the Vietnamese. For Dongxing's dealers with their sacks of shoes, socks, even suitcases, have been ahead of the cross-border game ever since the day the frontier reopened in 1989 after a decade of bitter hostilities.
Hundreds streamed across the river then to buy the likes of flasks, teacups, bowls, chopsticks and plates. They bought up everything. Dongxing folk realised there was money to be made. Everyone, even those who had never done any business before, started to trade.
Commerce got a firm footing when this bridge was built in 1994. This is now a metaphor for Sino-Vietnam trade. Every day around 4,000 laden Chinese head that way, while 1,000 Vietnamese come this way. It's easy to see who's winning. In the first 10 months of 2008, the total volume of cross-border trade was $17 billion, with some 3/4 made in China. Vietnam is indeed a good buyer, but its investment in China, up to now at least, is very limited.
Many
Vietnamese companies are investigating the market and preparing to invest, but so far, ours is the only direct investor in Dongxing, even in the whole of Guangxi region.
And according to analysts, Vietnam is also disappointed, to say the least, with the relatively low level of direct investment from its huge neighbour, which stands today at around $2 billion. But the most contentious issue for Vietnam concerns territory, groups of small islands and great swathes of sea, potentially rich in natural resources. And this is a long-running dispute that involves the whole region. The lure of oil and gas to help fund the economies of China and Southeast Asia has created suspicion and animosity. Competing claims exist regarding sovereignty over the South China Sea, with China claiming, well, most of it, and it's been prepared to use military force to expel others with ambitions in the region. And Vietnam has borne the brunt. As yet, there's no clear-cut solution. A combination of historical claims, the actual line of a country's continental shelf, plus the right to explore and exploit territory up to 200 nautical miles from the shore, has created a dilemma. This is the hypothetical 200-mile limit. These are Vietnam and the Philippines' claims, which overlap those by Indonesia, Brunei and Malaysia. As for China, check this out. An official Chinese researcher explains that this huge claim is based on historical documents, maps that go back to the days of the emperors.
Regarding the maps, no other country objected to us in the past. Of course, with the realization of oil reserves, our neighboring countries made their own claims. Beforehand, they had said nothing.
With oil consumption in East Asia expected to rise by 4% annually on average, the region's demand could reach 25 million barrels per day, more than double current consumption levels by 2020. China consumes the most. It's prepared to assert its claim. And Miss Sun explains that this revered ancient poem best sums up the Chinese stance.
If you push too hard, when we can't take anymore, we'll take action.
Certainly, Beijing has warned oil giants BP and Exxon not to help Vietnam explore in the South China Sea if they value doing business with China. On the other hand, it's agreed with its neighbours, including Vietnam, to conduct joint marine surveys in a bid to reduce tensions. But as the economic exchanges reveal, the relationship is truly asymmetric, and China will not concede territory. The balance of power rests firmly on this side of the Beilun River.